He's the Jordan of boxing. Simple as that.
Not naturally as big a man as those other welterweights. So start there. That's a fair point. He moved up in weight, Barrios. So he's not a naturally big, natural welterweight.
Barrios right now?
Well, it's not impossible because he has power. He should have that power.
The boxing world is shocked as Manny Pacquiao trains for a comeback fight at 46. His coach, Justin Fortune, calls him the Michael Jordan of boxing and says age won't matter. He explains Pacquiao has stayed active all these years and believes he can still beat Barrios, even at 46.
His age, yeah, I mean, but it's not, listen, he's 45, 46. 45, 46, but he's not. He's always active. He's always staying active. He's always doing something, mostly playing basketball, some sort of sport. I'm retired. So, not really.
When Nate Diaz beat Conor McGregor, he said, "I'm not surprised." So Manny could say that after he beats Barrios, that he wasn't surprised that he's supposed to win.
Well, yeah. Diaz beat, I mean, different Diaz, I like Diaz.
Manny Pacquiao's training at 46 is intense and full of energy. New videos show him moving quickly with sharp footwork and lightning-fast punches. Fans are amazed by his speed and power. Pacquiao looks focused and ready, proving he's still a strong force in boxing. Oscar de la Hoya supports Manny Pacquiao's return to boxing, even at his age. He says the Filipino legend still has the heart and skill to fight younger stars like Mario Barrios. De la Hoya praises Pacquiao's huge career and says you should never count out someone with so much experience. For him, it's not about age, but what's left inside.
I wish him all the best.
Quadra, I love him. Can he do it?
Quadra? Can he do it? Absolutely. Manny Pacquiao's
Oscar needs.
He's a legend.
Some nice ones. Thank you.
He's a legend. I think he can do it. Absolutely. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I think he can do it. Yeah.
Fans and experts compare Pacquiao to George Foreman, who won a world title at 46. It's rare but not impossible in boxing. Many believe if Foreman did it, Pacquiao, with his energy and fame, might do it too. This fight is all about beating age and proving the unexpected.
If George Foreman can win a title at 45 years old and Bernard Hopkins can do it at 49 years old, then Manny Pacquiao can win a world title at 46 years old. I see this narrative quite a bit online, and there's a difference between Foreman and Hopkins situations and Pacquiao situation. I mean, Foreman was a heavyweight, and usually guys in the bigger weight classes, they can still compete as they get older, because they rely more on power and size, and less on footwork and speed. Right, Foreman, he knocked out more to win the titles. Now, Hopkins, he did have a pretty impressive skill set at 49 years old to outbox Shumenov. But again, the guy was heavier, 175 pounds, and he had never been stopped in his career, so he had less wear and tear on his body and chin. Whereas someone at the lower weight classes like Pacquiao, he relies more on speed, footwork, and volume. And these sorts of attributes will be worse at 46 years old. Not to mention, he has been stopped a couple times, and he will be the smaller man than Barrios. So the odds are really stacked against him, and I don't completely count him out because he is so great and skilled, so I would give him a small chance. But Pacquiao winning would be more impressive than what Foreman or Hopkins did, because Manny's trying to do it at a smaller weight class.
Boxing analyst Teddy Atlas looked closely at Mario Barrios' size and raised doubts. Atlas says Barrios moved up in weight instead of being a natural welterweight, so his size edge might not be as big as it seems. This levels the field, making the fight tougher and closer than some expect.
Not naturally as big a man as those other welterweights. So start there. That's a fair point. He moved up in weight, Barrios. So he's not a naturally big, natural welterweight. And of course, we understand Pacquiao has moved up. My God, I don't even know when he first turned pro. You would have thought maybe he could have been a jockey.
Yeah,
I mean he was
180 pounds, right?
Yeah, jockeys are about 105 pounds, I think, somewhere around neighborhood. I mean, can you imagine him though going to the whip? He might have killed the horse. That's the only thing. Yeah, you would have had Petter. What is it called? Peter, whatever. Peter. You would have had Peter coming after you. You know, look what he did to this horse. You know, but look, I love Pacquiao. One of my favorite people. One of my favorite fighters in the whole world. He's moved up from like whatever. Incredible weight. People forget about that. That's why I brought it up. How many weight classes this man has really moved up. Incredible. Just incredible. But now, yeah, Barrios wouldn't be as big as those other guys, but he's still a guy that's confident. He's a guy that's a world champion. He's a guy who throws a lot of punches. He's a guy who's younger, who's active, you know, who I know you can't go by this guy beat this guy, but he could beat that guy, but he could beat this guy. But you can't go by that in my business, in this business, because styles make fights. But you're right. He beat Ugas. You could say Ugas was a little older than when he fought him a little bit than when Pacquiao fought him. And maybe that made a difference, whatever. But he did take a lot of punishment, Pacquiao, in the Ugas fight.
The boxing world is split on Pacquiao's chances. Some think he still has the skills and mindset to win, while others worry age is a real challenge in such a tough sport. Some even compare this fight to the Tyson versus Jake Paul event, wondering if it's more about show than serious competition.
Podcast or his network, his YouTube show.
1 second. Do you have? So you got Manny winning?
Yes.
You got Manny winning?
No, against Barrios.
Yeah.
No, I think look, every great fighter got one great fight left in him. That had to be Thurman and Manny. I think Manny seems to want to. Manny appears to be like how Bernard and Roy were. Like he's really one of those great old school fighters where you gotta he's gotta go out on his shield.
Yeah.
Going out on your shield used to not mean just in any given fight. It used to mean that's how they went out, period, fighters. And Manny's like that.
I do not want to
see. It's really hard to see Manny Pacquiao losing to Mario Barrios because of who they are. But who they are now, you know?
Sean, I do not want to see like Manny on the knee, mouthpiece out. That's going to hurt me.
Kevin McBride, Mike Tyson.
That's going to hurt me.
Even though Pacquiao says he stayed active, some experts doubt it. They wonder if training alone is enough without real fights. Skipping official matches might leave him unprepared against a fighter as hungry as Barrios. Critics want to see proof inside the ring, not just the gym.
A bite, a overhand right. Stop it! Welcome to K9 Boxing. And it's yours truly, Cornelius K9 Bundridge, the oldest world champion in junior history. And Manny Pacquiao is looking to step back in the ring, y'all, against Mario Barrios, July the 19th. If I'm not mistaken, it's July 19th. And I give Manny Pacquiao a good chance at winning. Because, you know, a lot of people say, well, he's been inactive, he's older. Man, but he throw punches. He has a lot of experience. And his last fight was an exhibition, which still was a fight and still kept him sharp, punching, doing something. So it ain't like he just ain't been in the ring, ain't did nothing. Yeah, he been working. It's like them underground boxing matches are real fights. And it keep you off bold. You know, Emmanuel Stewart used to do a lot of exhibitions for his guys, to get them sharp, to get them prepared for a fight if they hadn't fought in a minute, just to have them fight sharp. What up, Keith? Yeah, just to have them fight sharp. So if they got in the ring and they hadn't fought in a minute, it won't seem like it. It'd be like seem like they just recently fought. Yeah, so you know, it's a lot of stuff you can do to make yourself relevant, sharp, can have you right, ready for a fight. Yeah. My young dogs, Kevin, Kyrie, and Tadell, you know, the Hawk, the dogs, they fought to a draw.
Famous trainer Robert Garcia respects Pacquiao's career, but says age is a big hurdle. He warns that even legends can be slowed down by their bodies over time. Garcia doesn't completely rule out a win, but thinks the fight is risky because Barrios is younger and bigger. For him, this fight is more about danger than glory.
Well, Pacquiao's a big name, and obviously Barrios is a great fight for Barrios because, he's a champion, and I think Pacquiao, being that they both have connections with PBC, that's the easiest fight to make. So, getting another title opportunity, I just the name, obviously, but I really believe that, Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting. I think it's actually going to be a little, I don't want to say sad because he's going to make a lot of money, so we can't feel sorry for him. But at 46, almost 47, it's almost impossible for, I'm just 4 years older, 3-4 years older than him, and it's not easy to try to think you're gonna get in shape and be able to perform like the way you were when you were in your 20s and 30s.
You think it's impossible for him to beat Mario Barrios right now?
Well, it's not impossible because he has power. He that he should have that power. Barrios is big and a strong boy, so I don't see that happening. But is it possible? Anything's possible. George Foreman did it. There's been others that do it. But I really don't see it happening.
But Pacquiao's speed's the name of his game. Do you think he doesn't have that? There's no way he didn't have the same speed as before.
There's no way, bro. You guys, I don't know if you guys seen his last performance.
The exhibition where against that big guy.
It was actually embarrassing to see that shit. You know, so it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. You know what I mean?
If Pacquiao wins, what does that do for him? Where does that put him all time?
Hell, come on, at that age, after like a few years, I don't know how many years he's been up. That'd be impressive. It's hard to think it's gonna happen, but that shit would be nice, man. It would be nice. Very few have done it, and he's actually one that could do it.
Pacquiao, he's probably top 5 all time, one of the greatest fighters.
Roy Jones Jr. truly admires Pacquiao, not just for his many wins, but for always chasing tough challenges. For Jones, Pacquiao's comeback shows real courage and a strong fighting spirit. He's inspired by how someone so successful still wants one more big moment in the ring.
But how do you feel about Manny Pacquiao?
No, I love Manny. I don't bad Manny going in too. Manny is one of the dudes that I think definitely deserves to be in. Manny always has been and always will be one of my favorites because of the way he fights. I mean, a guy to come back after being knocked out in 2 of his first 3 fights, then come back and do all the things that Manny did. That story is also just as awesome as Manny Pacquiao's story. You feel me? I mean, come on. Most guys can't bounce back from a knockout period. He got knocked out early in his career twice and came back and did all this.
Let's show some love to the International Boxing Hall of Fame, who has been highlighting all of these fighters and people in the sport that we love, favorite sport in the world. Over there in Canastota, this year there's gonna be a big weekend of boxing under Salida Promotions, live on the Zone at the Turning Stone Casino. So shout out to everybody that's being inducted this year. Yes. Shout out to the Hall of Fame.
Even with energetic training videos online, experts worry. They say looking good in practice doesn't always mean a strong fight night. Questions remain if Pacquiao still has the quick reflexes to dodge punches, the toughness to take hits, and the stamina to last through many rounds.
This is a bad idea. Out of nowhere, the WBC decides they want their welterweight champion, Mario Barrios, to defend his belt against Manny Pacquiao. About 7 to 8, maybe 9, 10 years ago, I would have said, hells yeah, if we had a Manny Pacquiao championship fight. But Manny's been retired for 4 years. He's 46 years old. His last fight was in 2021, and he lost to Ugas in a unanimous decision. I watched his exhibition bout against the kickboxer guy in Japan. And again, I think people will look at this and go, well, Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson, and yeah, that happened. And I also said that Mike was going to get really badly hurt, and it was a terrible idea for him to do that. And there were some health issues and everything else. Luckily, Mike didn't get super hurt in the fight, but this is a world championship level fight against a sitting world champion, and Manny does not belong in there. And again, I'm worried that he's going to get hurt badly.
This fight against Barrios means more than money for Pacquiao. He's going after the WBC welterweight title, the same belt that made him famous worldwide. It's a full circle moment, a chance to finish his career where it really began. This gives the fight special meaning beyond just winning.
Boxing Doctor News told Onto Your Gloves boxing fans, the rumors are true. Manny Pacquiao is stepping back into the ring. At 46 years old, the Filipino legend is taking on WBC welterweight champ Mario Barrios this July. But here's the kicker. Pacquiao's first world title was as a flyweight, and now he wants to retire as the WBC welterweight champ. Talk about a career comeback, but can the Pac-Man turn back time? He hasn't been in top form lately, while Barrios is coming off a tough draw. Will Pacquiao's experience triumph over youth, or is this one fight too far? Either way, July is shaping up to be an explosive month for boxing. Pacquiao's rolling the dice one last time. Will he make history as the oldest welterweight champ ever? Get ready for a showdown that'll have you on the edge of your seat.
Pacquiao's excitement for the fight is clear. He says fighters should always aim to entertain fans no matter the result. For him, what matters most is giving fans a memorable show. This mindset adds heart to the fight, showing he wants to create an exciting event, not just a win.
You didn't see Haney. Haney was running for 12 rounds without stopping. I was very impressed. He ran. He didn't throw maybe 100 punches the whole fight. You throw more in shadow boxing in 10 seconds. It was pretty bad.
Rolando Romero beat Ryan. He dropped
boxing. That's how you entertain the fans. Yeah, boxing became popular because of the support of the fans, of the people. So make sure that the fans will satisfy in every fight that you have. You give it to them. There you go. That's balance. You cannot pay back of all the sacrifice that you have in the people that are not satisfied.
Some longtime fans feel uneasy about Pacquiao coming back now. They worry not just about injuries, but what a loss might do to his legacy. If it goes wrong, this final chapter could overshadow all the great moments before. Fans want to remember him at his best, not struggling.
So Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title is being targeted for late July in either San Antonio or Las Vegas on Amazon Prime. And Pacquiao is currently in a Senate campaign in the Philippines in May, but after that he wants to return in the summer for a world title and try to break his own record as the oldest welterweight champion at 46 years old. Now, I have every issue in the world with this. You know, Manny Pacquiao, he's my favorite fighter all time, but this is just not great for boxing. Pacquiao's last fight was 4 years ago in 2021 against Ugas, and in that fight, he looked a lot slower, not as explosive, and he got outboxed. And then last year, when he was targeting the Barrios fight, he had an exhibition against a kickboxer, Rukia Anpo first, and he looked even slower and even more hittable in that fight. You know, I don't think Pacquiao should be sanctioned to fight a world title fight at 46 years old, and not that Barrios is some scary knockout artist or a pound-for-pound level talent. You know, if there's one champ at 147 that Pacquiao could upset, it would be Barrios. But in all likelihood, Barrios being the younger, bigger guy, he's just going to beat Manny for 12 rounds, probably stop him late. So I just don't want to see the fight. You know, Pacquiao's accomplished everything in the sport. He really doesn't need another fight at 46.
Mario Barrios enters the fight calm and focused. He respects Pacquiao but isn't starstruck. He plans to use his youth and reach, keeping steady pressure the whole fight. For Barrios, this isn't just another match. It's his big chance to prove this is his time.
When you see the Manny Pacquiao fight, what can you learn from that fight?
You know, it shows that, combination punchers, that's how Pacquiao, was landing, his punches, combinations. And, just shows you that, he is a great fighter, but, I'm going into this camp, into this fight confident, everything right with our game plan. And I'm going to try to execute it as best as I can.
If Pacquiao wins, the future looks exciting. Both fighters are fast southpaws with strong fan followings. A fight like this could headline huge arenas and create huge buzz. This could be the step toward one last mega fight to finish Pacquiao's amazing career.
Gervonta Tank Davis has a 6 to 7 fight deal with the PBC and Amazon for $200 million. That's like $30 million a fight. All right. He also has a fight date for November. El Rayo team has said they're not fighting this year. So he's not the guy. So the question is, who is the guy who is willing to fight Tank by November and could build the fight into a fight worth $30 million? Y'all must be out y'all minds if y'all think that Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta Tank Davis isn't a huge fight. That'll probably be his biggest fight ever. Y'all know that's a big fight because the boxing fan today, they know Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez. That's who they know.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates next time.